Good evening from Banjul, and welcome to GRTS News in our headlines tonight. The University of the Gambia play host to the 6th International U6 Vice Chancellors Meeting. Riders for Health presents vehicles worth over $200,000 to the Ministry of Health for efficient and quality healthcare service delivery. The United Nations Children's Fund seeks to revitalize South Sudan's education system. And former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf awarded $5 million Mo Ibrahim Prize for achievements in African leadership. Well, viewers, those are the headlines. Thanks for joining us. The University of the Gambia is hosting the 6th International Meeting of U6 Vice Chancellors. The U6 Consortium consists of several universities within the African continent. SRSO was at the opening ceremony and filing this report.
The U6 Consortium, which is a South-South cooperation, aims at strengthening academic collaboration between over a dozen universities. These citadels of learning support each other in curriculum development, research, and the supervision of joint postgraduate projects. Presiding over the official ceremony of the high-level academic gathering, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Badara Diouf, said higher education institutions should set the pace for the transformation of Africa's digital economy.
If we take an intermodal focus of ourselves and ask the question, why is it that still we are at this stage of development in agriculture? Why is it that Africa's children are still running naked and underfed? Why is it that we still have that high level of illiteracy? Why is it that we are not in the mainstream of the digital economy and the digital knowledge?
The University of the Gambia, despite its remarkable achievements, is in its infancy, still needing guidance and nurturing, and therefore stands to be a main beneficiary in this joint venture.
The U6 meeting of Vice Chancellors came at a time when the Gambia is reshaping and repositioning itself following years of struggle. The National Development Plan clearly spells out the country's desire to become a knowledge-based economy underpinned by a vibrant human resource capital. The Vice Chancellor, University of the Gambia, Professor Fakir Mohamed Ajum, says the South-South cooperation is relevant to the objectives of the UTG.
Crucially, the U6 agenda is in line with the University of the Gambia's mission of promoting research and development activities through collaboration and multidisciplinary strategic approach. Thus, I urge the Gambian government to pay keen attention to the tertiary institutions and commit more funding to research and development.
Some of the visiting Vice Chancellors offered these goodwill messages at today's opening ceremony.
I hope that this meeting will afford us the opportunity for very fruitful exchanges. We in the University of Calabar take this consortium very seriously.
The University of the Gambia undoubtedly needs guidance and nurturing from more established institutions, and the U6 Consortium presents a perfect opportunity for the UTG to learn and share ideas with other institutions. Isa Sow, GRTS News.
The Riders for Health has presented 12 vehicles worth more than $200,000 to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The vehicles are meant to complement the efforts of the ministry in providing quality and efficient healthcare service delivery. Khadijatu Jallo tells us more.
These vehicles, newly presented to the health departments across the country, is meant to ensure efficient and quality health service delivery. Riders for Health Program Officer Cherno Usman Jallo described the development as part of their mandate. An international health organization, Riders for Health, partnered with the Gambia government through the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare on a transport asset management program. Over the years, the program has provided ambulances, trekking and supervision vehicles, and motor bicycles, and further enable maintenance and training for health drivers, receiving car keys from the riders for health for onward delivery to beneficiaries. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Safile Cisse, held the groundbreaking partnership taking health interventions to new heights. She called on the beneficiaries to take ownership of the vehicles.
You know, the work we have at health is a very difficult one, and it needs a lot of trekking, which I know if we were going to take care of our own vehicles would be difficult to maintain. The outreach that we do at RCH, just about from 2 months ago, we are talking about revitalizing primary health care. And one of the bottlenecks to do that is transportation, because you need movement. So I'm just urging each and every one of us that is going to be using these vehicles to make good use of it.
The Riders for Health Country Director, Pres Drame, outlined some of the major activities and challenges they have encountered as health transporters.
Within the program, the Transport Asset Management Program, we are obliged as Riders for Health to replace the vehicles when they are old. But government is also obliged to pay us, because of course we buy the vehicles, we buy the spare parts, we buy the fuel, oils, lubricants, and we pay the drivers, we pay the riders, we pay the technicians, we pay of course the utility services. So government has to pay. We are not a charity, but we are also a not-for-profit organization. The challenges we have in this partnership is occasionally, not all the time. You have people who do not understand the relationship between Riders for Health and the Ministry of Health.
And one of the beneficiaries, Katim Jai, said the development will enhance mobility, boosting service and timely delivery by the Health Ministry in all parts of the Gambia. Karigatu Jallo, reporting for GRTS News.
National Water and Electricity Company, NAWEC, has struck a 2-year power purchase agreement with a Turkish energy company called Car Power Energy Group. Asuduketa has more on that.
The Turkish company is currently operating in many African countries and beyond. The deal, signed at the Petroleum and Energy Ministry in the presence of top energy officials, is meant to boost the country's energy sector and ensure uninterrupted electricity supply across the Gambia.
The government has recognized the urgency to transform and modernize the sector with the support of our development partners to have a lasting and sustainable solution to our energy problem. The signing ceremony we are witnessing today for an emergency power supply for a period of 2 years forms part of the short-term generation capacity improvement measures as enshrined in our energy sector roadmap spanning from 2018 to 2025.
Coordinator and CEO Mehmet Katma emphasized that the initiative will energize and replenish gaps in the sector and allay the population's energy demands.
Of course, each side will pursue many significant activities once we sign the contract, and ours are first, we will hopefully send this ship to sail within this week, and within 3 weeks' time we expect the power ship to arrive in Banjul. And then we will, together with our local partners, we will start the transmission line works accordingly. At this moment of celebration, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone whose dedication and effort have contributed to the finalization of contract, in particular the NAWEC team. Their insights, goodwill and friendship have made the signing of this contract a reality.
NAWEC Managing Director Baba Fatojo and Aki Allen, Chairman NAWEC Board of Directors, both pledged to honor the new agreement.
This is hugely significant and unprecedented for us at NAWEC. This forms part of our short-term measures within the overall implementation of the energy sector roadmap aimed at transforming the sector. This arrangement has the potential to provide us the much-needed reprieve to do a proper assessment of our generation sets and make informed decisions on the most obsolete, capital-intensive difficult to operate equipment within the period of the arrangement. This is resulting from a collective quest to stabilize the power system in the country. An injection of 30 megawatt capacity into a generation system, which is emanating from this deal, will go a long way in ensuring steady and reliable power supply to our nation. Efforts of providing both a sustainable and cost-effective solution have started paying dividends. It is against this background that this occasion we are gathered to witness here represent an important milestone in the annals of the history of both NAREC and the Gambia.
The signing ceremony was witnessed by Cabinet Secretary Ibrahim Asise, who described the signing event as a milestone for the energy sector as it moves to satisfy major national energy inadequacies. For GRTS News, I am Aissatou Keita.
Pursuant to Section 193 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia and Section 9 of the Local Government Act, the Independent Electoral Commission will conduct the local government elections for all councillors for the 120 wards on 12th April 2018. Nomination of candidates will be held from 13th to 17th March 2018. As a result, nomination forms will be issued out to prospective candidates from Monday 12th February to Sunday 17th March 2018. These forms are free of charge and can only be collected from the IEC regional offices in Banjul, Kanifing, Birkama, Kerawan, Mansakonko, Jangjambure, and Basse. A one-week training exercise for senior and mid-level officers is currently underway at the Gambia Armed Forces Training School in Fajara. The training on psychology of leadership is supported by the Royal Military Academy of the British Army. Kamara Kanye has more on that.
Police officers form the group that is benefiting from the Psychology of Leadership training program from the officers of the Royal Military Academy of the British Army. The training is a first of its kind since the Gambia renewed ties with the Commonwealth and a catalyst to the reform plans of Lieutenant General Masane Kinte.
I therefore urge all participants to follow the course keenly in order to drive maximum benefit at the end of the training. I most sincerely thank the Chief of Defence Staff for this laudable initiative, and I have no doubt that such training courses are linked up with in the near future for members of the Gambia Armed Forces.
Colonel Paul S. Gomez, the Commandant of the Gambia Armed Forces Training School, and his men hope to benefit from this significant training. The British Army has been a great deal of assistance to the Gambia Armed Forces in terms of support services.
This week, I think you will find, the students will find different. The way that we're going to run the course is by learning by doing, not just listening to me, but by putting you through a series of exercises which I think will help reveal some of the interesting developments in the world of psychology, which I think you'll find useful to you.
Strengthening ties with other militaries across the world, mainly Commonwealth countries, is one of the priority areas of CDS Kinte and his High Command.
One of the areas of my reform agenda for the Gambia Armed Forces is to increase the capacity of the officer corps. My focus is concentrated on developing the professional mindset of members of the armed forces by reflecting their thinking on their roles in a new democratic dispensation. It is my philosophy that we cannot achieve our reforms in the absence of capacity building.
The training will offer participants the requisite skills to effectively carry out their duties. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famara Kani.
Meanwhile, military academy students from Holland are in the country to render humanitarian services to schools in the country, courtesy of the local foundation called Future for Young People. As Janketure reports, the development is as a result of a new partnership deal between the two organizations.
These students are in the Gambia, courtesy of the Future for Young People, a humanitarian foundation and NGO based in Holland. The FFYP has become a key development partner, supporting education initiatives in many parts of the country. The foundation is the brainchild of this woman, Petra van Hoevel. The philanthropist from Netherlands has made the Gambia her second home. These students are from the military academy in Holland. They are studying to join the army, but today the group is in Tangi doing voluntary work to rehabilitate the Tangi Lower Basic School.
The work is very good. It's a strong work and I'm really grateful. I really appreciate their work. They've done the best of all, because it was our headache whenever we asked people to come and do it for us. When they do it, within 1 year it would run off again, and then we'll have to, every year we do maintenance. But I hope the level of work they have done this time, I think it will last long.
The concern with us is lack of classrooms and lack of chairs. So we need to help us to maintain some of our chairs so that at least the children can be comfortable in their classes.
The engaging days saw students rehabilitate classrooms, paint walls, and repair broken woodwork. In order to involve them, the FFYP encouraged volunteers to personally fund the program. Student instructor Mickey is pleased with the initiative. Here he cites some of the challenges they have encountered so far.
Last year was very good. We did a nice job here, and we were thinking about are we going to do it again, and there was definitely yes. So now we're back with 19 students and 19 total, and we're working here on the basic school. Yeah.
Alaji Saho and his wife Petra are the initiators behind this noble initiative, bringing young volunteers from Europe for meaningful exchange visits to the Gambia. It's a move that builds and cements collaboration between Gambians and tourists from Netherlands.
I really like it. I'm very proud of them. And yeah, they are doing a lot for their school, because the maintenance in the schools is very poor here. So at the moment they are fixing renovating 2 classrooms. So yeah, I'm very happy with everything they are doing, and they also like it. It's good for the school and it's also good for them. They also learn a lot from it.
What is more important, we have to work together. Whether you are part of government or you are a individual person, we all have to work together. We support that way.
Here, student volunteers share their experience and expectations in the intervention program.
The project is to help the children of Gambia. That's why it's called Future for Young People. And we're trying to reconstruct the school and the area around the school to provide the children with a better place to learn, to educate.
The team will be here for 2 weeks and are expected to visit more schools for similar initiatives. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Janke Toure.
The Atlanta Gambian Emergency Relief Association has presented medical items including a multi-purpose digital vital sign, monitoring and a ventilator support machine to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and other health facilities in the country. Seydou Kamara tells us more.
Items worth $7 million was donated to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare by the Atlanta, Georgia Gambian Emergency Relief Association, based in the United States of America. According to the executive members of the association, the materials are meant to improve the services of the health sector, particularly the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Understanding that our health sector in the Gambia needs help. It needs all the support that it can get. And national development is the responsibility of every, genuine citizen of that country. And Ajay knows that. We do help in America, Gambians, not only in the state of Georgia or in Atlanta, but everywhere in the U.S. We lend hand to support. And we just wanted to remind our brothers, sisters, uncles, and aunties that we did not forget about them too.
Officials of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare commended the members of the Atlanta, Georgia Gambians for the initiative, describing it as timely, and assured that the materials will be put into good use.
We also assure you that this material will be here to serve the Gambian people, no matter what. because we like to put up a system where if you donate, you come a year later, you want to see it, to trace it.
The Public Relations Officer at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Modlamin Jame, thanked the association members for the laudable gesture, adding that the equipment will add a great value to the daily services at the hospital. The donated items include multi-purpose digital sign monitoring machines, ventilator support machine for breathing, cardiac monitors for intensive care, ECG machines for the heart, and many more which are vital to the health sector. Seydou Camara, GRTS News.
Network Against Gender-Based Violence, in collaboration with Action Aid the Gambia, recently held a joint orientation ceremony meant to share its policies and research on FGMC with the National Assembly Selected Committee on Women, Children and Health. Khadija Juwara tells us more.
The program brought together committee members, partners and activists with the aim to discuss the research and sharing of ideas on how to end FGM health in Bakau. The National Coordinator Network Against Gender-Based Violence, Hadi Mboch-Baro, reiterated her group's commitment to working with the members of the Select Committee to continue to work with them in ensuring the eradication of the harmful traditional practice. She pointed out that the orientation is part of the activities implemented by the network and its partners.
The network is working with partners for the management of survivors of gender-based violence, be it sexual violence, FGM, and other forms of gender-based violence.
She noted that the research will help to understand the perception of the Gambians about FGM, while adding that research will provide evidence on their advocacy and awareness creation, which she said will be validated. Chairperson of the network said violence creates fear and disconnects the victims from society. Therefore, the protection of women and girls will need special attention.
Violence against women and girls is one of the most serious, hideous crimes of our day. And it is widely spread, it is a widely spread human rights violation. We all know that. But we also know that sexual violence, being an even more scandalous specificity, is a serious cause for concern.
Executive Director Action Aid the Gambia, Omar Baji, said the training is timely and will greatly contribute towards enhancing the understanding of this critical issue.
In the Gambia, it is estimated that 73% of women aged 15 to 49 years have gone through FGM. That is according to GBOS 2013. Despite the fact that there exists a law in the Gambia criminalizing FGM, the practice still continues, even though many women have shared their stories and ordeals about what they are going through because of FGM.
He noted that as a nation, it is important to stop the practice of FGM in the Gambia. Chairperson National Assembly Select Committee on Health, Women and Children, Usman Silla, said the issue affecting women and girls cannot be overemphasized.
As you know, the issues affecting women and children cannot be overemphasized because women are very key, are very critical in every society. Without women and children, society cannot exist. So the issue of women and children should be dear to all of us. They are issues that affect us as leaders in society, as decision makers.
He added that the welfare of women and children should be protected and promoted. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Khadija Juwara.
Time now to take our first break. The sports news is up next. Stay tuned.
Salam, man la Youssou saa ma ñëwee Gambia Africell laay jëfandikoo mooy jokkoo bi nga xam ne moom laay am ak nit ñi te li ci gën a neexati moom mooy 4G bi dafa ñëw day tax mu gën a gaaw fépp kon nag da ngeen use Africell 4G bi gaaw na lool xoolal.
yow daal ku leen toppatoo doxal solo nit dina xëy rek bañ la te boo ko laajoon du la wax lu war a fu mu toog dégg sa tur di nga demee bako yàlla ngi janox moom.
internet bi day soxla Thank you very much. This is for you. Salam, man la Youssou Ndour. Saa ma ñëwee Gambia Africell laay jëfandikoo mooy jokkoo bi nga xam ne moom laay am ak nit ñi te li ci gën a neexati moom mooy 4G bi dafa ñëw day tax mu gën a gaaw fépp.
Welcome back. Hawks Football Club has taken a giant step towards qualifications to the next round of qualifiers for the CAF Confederations Cup with a vital away win. For more on weekend's CAF Club competition, here's our sports reporter MS Jallo with a roundup of all the results.
Have registered one of the biggest wins in the club's history by beating Nigerian heavyweights Aqua United 2-1 in the first leg of the preliminary round of qualifiers for the CAF Confederations Cup. The Red Devils sucked the Nigerians in their own backyard at the magnificent Godswill International Stadium, with 2 first-half goals giving the Gambian side a vital away win. Prior to the game, the Nigerian media reported that Aqua United will roast the Gambian side, but instead the opposite happened. Hawks ended up roasting Aqua United. Mohamed Jallo, nicknamed Sassi, opened the scoring before midfield maestro Lamin Chati made it 2-0 to give the visitors a shocking halftime lead. Aqua United fought back in the second period. The pool went back, but Hawks held on to secure a very important and a rare victory for Gambian clubs in continental club football. The last time a Gambian club won away in a CAF competition was back in 2012 when Brikama United defeated Wakam in Dakar, Senegal by a goal to nil and eventually win the tie in a post-match penalty shootout. That was equally a famous victory for the Sateba boys, which earned them qualification into the second round of the qualifiers, where they faced Tunisian powerhouse Esperance of Tunis. Hawks' victory came a day after fellow Gambian side Armed Forces lost 3-0 to Zanaco Football Club of Zambia in the CAF Champions League preliminary qualifiers. Both Hawks and Gambia Armed Forces will return home to prepare for their respective return legs. Hawks will hope to finish the brilliant job they started when they host Aqua United on the 21st of this month at the Independence Stadium, whilst Gambia Armed Forces have an uphill task to turn a 3-0 deficit against Zanaco Football Club on the 24th. Meanwhile, Gambian coach Tafamani with Liberian side Lisik Football Club beat El Hilal 1-0, the Liberian champions, which has a significant Gambian contingent. So 2 Gambian players, Bully Drame and Mustafa, featuring in that game, which was also attended by the new Liberian president and former World Player of the Year, George Weah. Mohamed Jallo, GRTS Sports.
Over now to the international scene. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, is working to stop young people in South Sudan from joining armed groups by ensuring they can stay in school. UNICEF is seeking to revitalize the country's education system, which has been ravaged by civil war. So far, the schools have taught close to 500,000 children in the war-torn country. CGTN's Patrick Oyet tells us more from northern South Sudan.
Learning centers, pupils across South Sudan are receiving an education. The temporary schools established by UNICEF with the help of US aid are benefiting children aged between 3 and 18. In the northern part of South Sudan, many schools have been destroyed since the conflict began in 2013. These centers are the only option for most children.
Our children were suffering without school. Now we know our children will go back to school like other children.
UNICEF also trains teachers to send to the new schools.
Since the introduction of the Education Emergency Program, education has become a powerful first response and entry point in facilitating access to productive learning environments for thousands of affected children in South Sudan.
More than 4 years of civil war has denied many children an education. Armed groups in the conflict are